Hi Foxes, and welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Brittany and I'm also known as SHOPFOXBURROW on all the platforms like Etsy, Poshmark, here on YouTube, and over on Instagram. And what this channel is really about, and what I do, is that I am a vintage seller and a reseller, and so I do a lot of content based around selling vintage and style and all things vintage clothing and learning about them. So if that sounds interesting to you, then do make sure to subscribe. And today's video is all about what sold for me across the platforms that I sell on the previous week, which in this case is June 13th to June 20th. So we are going to take a look at the different platforms that I sell on and what I sold for $20 or more on those different platforms, so that you can just kind of see like what is trending in the vintage world, what is selling. If you are outsourcing or looking for yourself, you can kind of see what other people are picking up. And while we're here, I wanted to talk about the videos that are going to be going live this week. I went to the Goodwill outlet, which I live about 5 or 6 minutes away from the Goodwill outlet, and met up with fellow YouTuber and local Lori from Lori's Boston Found, and we had a really nice time. We stayed for one rotation. The way that our bins works here in New Hampshire is that you go in at a specific time and they've got all fresh bins, and then you have like an hour and a half or 2 hours to shop, and then they cut you off and kick you out. So you have to shop the entire sales floor, sort through your cart, and then be out of the building in 2 hours per rotation. So we went for one rotation, and then we went and had lunch afterwards, and it was really nice. She is doing a vlog and a haul on her channel, I think this coming Sunday. And then I'm going to be doing a haul video as well. So that will be coming out this week, and I hope that you enjoy it. I did pick up some modern stuff so that my lister has some things to put up for me, and so I'll talk a little bit about those. And then I picked up a lot of stuff for my vintage booth, and then I picked up just 1 or 2 things that I am going to end up listing on Etsy. But yeah, so that haul is going to be coming out. And then I also have a research with me video that is going to happen, I think, on Friday. I haven't exactly pinned down the time I'm going to be doing it, because Friday is adventure day for my children and I. We go out and we have an adventure together, and they picked going to the mall, which if you've ever tried to take a child to the mall, you know is actually an adventure. So we're going down to Burlington, Massachusetts. We're going to be hitting up the mall, and I'm not sure what time we're going to get back, so I'm not sure what time I'm going to be able to go live. But essentially, some people have sent me some submissions of vintage items that they want to know more about, and I'm going to show you the whole breakdown of my research process and how I determine how old the item is, you know, if it's designer, what era it's from, what price I'm looking at, and so that you can kind of do more of that research yourself if you find something that is interesting, but you just don't know where to start with it. So those videos are going live this week, as well as, of course, this one Monday morning at 8 a.m. So I hope that you will tune in to the others. And without any more talking, let's just go ahead and jump right in to the what sold portion of this video with Etsy. And for this week, I sold this vintage jacket. I actually found this at the bins, and I almost didn't get it because it did have, the wear on the elbow wasn't what really bothered me, but it did have a little bit of wear to the lining that I was just not 100% on. But it was a Harris tweed, pure Scottish wool, and I thought that it looked nice, and I typically do well with the elbow patch blazers, and it did sell pretty quickly. So I think it sold within about a week or 2 of listing. It sold for $51.99 plus shipping. So I was pretty happy with that. I think if the lining had been in better shape, I would have listed it somewhere around $75. But on the outside, it didn't have any moth holes or anything. So I was happy with $52 for that. Then I listed some books recently. I have sold this book a few times, actually. It is the Fireside Book of Folk Songs. There's lots of different printings of it, and they all just have really great illustrations and, great music book for just a bunch of different little old folk songs. So this one sold pretty quick. This one did sell through promoted listings on Etsy. So that means they take an extra 12%. So it sold for $35.99 and then my regular fees, and then they took an additional 12% on top of that. But there's nothing I can do to get out of the offsite listings. So yeah. Then I sold this Moda jelly roll. I feel like this also sold with offsite listings. I picked this up at the bins along with some yarn, and I had no real experience with how much you could get for a jelly roll. But I knew the brand Moda. They make very nice cottons, and I listed this for $39.99, and it sold pretty quickly, honestly. So I really can't complain about that. Again, I got it at the bins, and just a quick flip on that one. Then I sold this vintage skirt. I've had this listed for a little bit. You can see my holiday decorations here. This one sold for $44.99. It was a size extra small. And yeah, so I was happy to see that move. Next, when this sold, I was like, oh, yay. Oh, no, I have to ship it. So it's a wicker tray that I picked up at the bins, and it sold for $24.99. And I had to Frankenstein a box to be able to ship it. But it sold pretty quickly. Wicker always does really well for me, so I do look for it when I'm at the bins. And then I sold these pants, which I believe I either picked these up at a Goodwill or I picked them up from the bins. I can't exactly remember, but they're Cape Cod Matchmates, which is like a New England sort of brand from the 70s. I thought they looked very lagging look, relaxed. They look kind of like linen. They're like a crinkle pant. And they have an elastic waist, and they had pockets. Those sold for $32.99. And those weren't listed too long either. I think probably 3 or 4 weeks is how long that took to sell. This took quite a while to sell. I actually got an offer on this within moments of listing it over a year ago, and the offer did not pan out. And so I just kept it up, and I thought it would sell a lot faster than it did. It was like this little girl's pinafore. You tied it closed on the sides, so it wasn't a full dress. It was something you would layer over another dress. And yeah, but it did sell for $27.99, and I thought it was so adorable. So I was surprised it took so long to sell. Next up was this Talbot's denim skirt. This took a really long time to sell, I think, because it had this stain here on the front. Not a stain, but a fading. But it did end up selling for $33.99. It was a wrap style skirt, and yeah, glad to see that one go. This one has also been listed for a while, about a year now, I think. Really loved the color and the pattern on this and the embroidery. I thought this was really beautiful. It did have a little bit of flaw, but honestly, not a big deal. This one sold for $55.99 and it went to Israel, so very much love that dress. And the last thing that sold on Etsy is this Fruits Japanese street fashion book from my youth. I was so excited when I originally got this, but it did sell for $49.99. So if you ever see these Fruits books or the original Fruits magazines that these were compiled from, then absolutely pick it up because it is worth a good amount of money. Thrilling, and I sold this black Donna Karan bodysuit for $44.99, and then Thrilling took their 10% cut, so I made $40.50. And then I also sold another pair of these sunglasses, $45.99. I think I showed these in my What Sold video last week because I sold a pair on Poshmark as well. And those I made $41.40 after Thrilling took their cut. So next up we are going to talk about eBay, and I did sell some things on eBay finally, yay. The first thing that I sold over $20 was this 100% linen Jones New York just like popover blouse, and I did pick this up at the bins and it sold for $22 plus shipping. I also sold this Stitch Fix Billy T top. I picked this up at a Goodwill. I paid $5 for it, thereabouts. And someone submitted me an offer for $15. It was a little low for me, so I countered back at $24. And they did end up accepting that. So that one sold for $24 plus shipping. I picked these up at the bins. This is a brand that I guess is sold at Torrid. When I looked it up, it was all the listings that came up were for Torrid. So they're size 22. And those sold for $20 plus shipping. And then this came from my wholesale plus size order that I had. It was like a dresses order. So I paid about $3 or $4 for this. And this Tropical Tantrum dress, I guess this is a Hawaiian brand. They have a Hawaiian store, like they have a store in Hawaii. But that actually sold pretty quick after listing, I think within 48 hours. So that one sold for $34. And this I've had forever. I picked this up at Savers because it was new in package. I looked it up on eBay before I bought it. And it was only, I think, $3 or $4. So, you know, I did fine with return on investment, but it really sat for a long time. So, but someone came in and bought it outright, and I was just really glad to have it gone. And then last up was this Anthropologie Vanessa Virginia skirt. And this one I bought for myself at a regular thrift store, Savers or something like that. And I just actually didn't really like the cut, like the fit on me. So I listed it, I think around like 35 or 38, and someone offered me 28 and I accepted that. And I did sell some other items on eBay this week, but they were primarily like $15 or $18. So we're not going to go over those, but I have been doing very well with some of the Torrid pieces, have been moving very quickly. So we are going to the last platform, and that is Poshmark. This is almost all my sales on Poshmark for the week. There were, I think, one or two others that were under $20, but it's definitely been pretty slow. This is a Stitch Fix top that sold pretty quickly after listing. Sold for $31. And then I also sold this mid-century straw hat. I had this listed a little bit higher, but and it did have a lot of interest on multiple platforms. But you know, I was happy to get things moving. So I sold this one for $35, and then I sold these Melissa jelly sandals. I believe I got these at the bins, and then I was going to keep them. but then I found them very uncomfortable. So then I listed them, and they've been listed for a really long time now. So I was really glad to see those go because someone just bought them outright for $38. So I was not mad about that. This was an Anthropologie dress that I purged from my own closet, and I had it listed a bit higher. I think around 60, but someone came in and offered me a lower amount, and then we haggled a little bit, and then we settled on a 47. So I was happy to send that off to its new home. I have now sold this dress in blue and green, and they both sold within days of listing. So this is the Reed shirt dress, and it came in a bunch of plaids too. I kept my plaids, but sold the solids because they don't fit me anymore. But this is by Moulinette Source. So if you see this shirt dress in, and they're cotton poplin, they're not the corduroy ones. So there is a corduroy one that looks really similar to this in blue corduroy, but that's not it. The Reed shirt dresses are 100% cotton, and they have smocking at the back of the waist. They have pockets that are sort of hidden in the front, and these always flip for good money. So then I sold this Torrid swim cover-up. I don't know that it was a swim cover-up, but it was kind of sheer, a little too long to be a shirt, a little too short to be a dress. So I was like, I think it'd make a good swim cover-up. So that's what I listed it as. And that one sold really quickly as well for $25, which I believe was full asking price. I might have listed it a little higher, but yeah, I was happy with that. I got that from the bins. And then someone came in and bought them outright. I had these listed for $26. They are little shorty bloomers. I love these in the summer. I wore these, not these specific ones, but a pair of my own to the theme park. Recently when I took my kids, it just keeps your legs from getting chafed on a hot day, and it's nice and sheer and lightweight, and the nylon doesn't stick to you or smell funny. So really love nylon shorties, and if you come across any, I would recommend picking them up because yeah, people are looking for them. This top, I was so happy to see it gone. This 5 right here, this has been listed for 2 years now. So this is 2019. May 2019 is when I listed this top. It's one of the oldest listings in my closet. And someone came in and bought it for $22, which was the asking price that I had on there, and I could not have been happier to send that off. Goodbye. And this Vera Newman scarf sold for $42. I loved this little strawberry print. I think I had this listed around like $55 or something like that. Someone offered me $42, and I was happy to accept that. And then the last item is this men's alpaca sweater. It was 100% alpaca, which is a rather expensive fiber. And I got this at the estate buy that I did in January. So I paid around $10 for this piece, and I was really happy with the $80 that someone offered me. So that is it for my sales for this week. So as you can see, it was a little bit of a slower week for me, especially over on Poshmark. That's not particularly surprising, despite the fact that I am listing a ton of stuff. It is summer slowdown. People are having their own adventure days, and I am just really excited to be seeing my number climb for active listings and to be getting closer to the goal of how many active items I want to have available in both my Poshmark closet and my Etsy store. My ultimate goal is to have 500 active items on Etsy and 1,000 on Poshmark. I am right at 800 for Poshmark, and at about 465 for Etsy. Things keep selling, so I can't seem to make that number climb, but I did just photograph an entire rack of vintage, so I am pushing to get there before the end of June. And so even though sales are a little bit slow, I am definitely still working over here. So let me know down in the comments below how your sales have been, or if any of these sales stood out to you, or if you have any other comments. I always read them and reply. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next Monday. Bye!